There was only one game in 2022 where Josh Allen did not get sacked. Every other game he got sacked, and the most sacks actually coming from AFC division opponents, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. The Jets sacking Josh Allen a season high 5 times in a single game, and the Miami Dolphins sacking Josh Allen 4 times as a season high. Guys, welcome to my channel here, Bills News Consolidated, talking about the NFL draft coming up here shortly and what I believe the Buffalo Bills are aiming to do for Josh Allen and this entire team. Josh Allen is this franchise. Josh Allen is truly the player that makes this thing go. Now, the philosophy, the recipe to win is to run up the score with Josh Allen, to get ahead by 2 or more possessions in games, forcing opposing offenses to stop running it, forcing them to pass, and then they have to pass it against Trey White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Von Miller, and this entire pass rush. So this really boils down to Josh Allen. Without a protected Josh Allen being one of the most hit quarterbacks this past several seasons, and going back to his rookie year where he got sacked 30 times, the Buffalo Bills past previous seasons were all less than that rookie year for Josh Allen, which is anticipated because he was a rookie, right? Rookie quarterbacks, they hold on to the football, they take a lot of sacks. So for the Buffalo Bills last year to only have 3 less sacks than his rookie year, knowing that Josh Allen has progressed in the quarterback that he has, understanding opposing defenses, knowing that he can get the ball out quick, this just proves even more how bad our offensive line was in 2022. And we've been just going position by position here. Obviously seeing Deion Dawkins make the Pro Bowl and Mitch Morse, I wouldn't say they are necessarily the problem here. The Bills are primarily a passing team. And from what I saw, Spencer Brown was clearly the biggest liability on this team. You could see Pro Football Focus actually has Spencer Brown rated the worst offensive lineman on the Buffalo Bills. And I really think it would be wise for us to bring in some competition here, especially in this year's NFL draft. Now, the start of this whole offseason, a lot of Bills Mafia, they wanted O'Cyrus Torrence, right? 6'5", 350, 60 pounds, right? A little bit flat-footed. Doesn't necessarily fit Aaron Kromer in our offensive line, being fast and nimble off that line, pulling towards the outside, blocking up DNs and linebackers, right? And then you look at free agency and what the Buffalo Bills actually did. Bringing in Edwards, McGovern, re-signing Ike Bucker, right? Having Greg Mance there as well. We have a lot of depth, interior offensive linemen that are going to compete and most likely be the interior of this offensive line. For us to draft an O'Cyrus Torrence after we just signed McGovern and Edwards and Bucker, right? I don't know if that necessarily makes sense. So I think going into this year's NFL draft, even at 27th overall, it could very well be a tackle. Knowing that this team relies so heavily on Josh Allen in this offense, and Josh Allen, right, we need to protect him. He's our quarterback. What are we going to do without Josh Allen? What would this team look like without Josh Allen? You have to start from top to bottom. You have to find a new recipe to win, like I was just discussing, but it starts in the trenches. It starts with bringing in some competition. And note that Spencer Brown, when he was drafted, the biggest thing a lot of critics said to him was that he would never be a solidified starting right or left tackle in the NFL. He would always be a swing backup tackle. And the Bills bet on Spencer Brown. We've been giving him ample playing time, ample experience to create those memorable moments on the football field. And sure enough, he was an ultimate letdown last year. He did have off-season back surgery heading into 2022, and he also injured his ankle very badly. He was walking in a walking boot against the Kansas City Chiefs, which I believe was week 7. Spencer Brown was clearly not himself, and from what I saw his rookie year, he proved that he could actually be a starting right tackle. But we got to get better. We got to bring in some top-notch competition here. We got to bring in some great players. And the guy that I'm really eyeing up here for Bills Mafia, I've been saying it for weeks, is DeJuan Jones from Ohio State. This guy is a true dancing bear. He's 6'7", 6'8", the same height as Spencer Brown, but a little bit more girthier, a little bit more weight behind him there. I believe he's like 330, 340. The guy is absolutely huge. And we know how much Brandon Beane Bean and Sean McDermott prioritize the Reese Senior Bowl, having these guys not shy away from competition, not sitting out in these championship games, willing to compete, trusting themselves, and willing to compete to not only improve, but just to showcase their overall abilities, right? So Dawand Jones shows up, Reese Senior Bowl, right? Known to have some problems with his weight, known that to be maybe a little bit slower, right? Maybe not fast enough to be a premier tackle in the NFL. But what does he do? He goes to the Reese Senior Bowl. He shows his speed. He shows his athleticism. He sits down in interviews and talks about his weight concerns and knows that it's not healthy to be this heavy and that he wants to lose weight just for the longevity of his entire life. So I think you could sit down and listen to these players, which we can only listen to the interviews, but Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, sitting down, getting to know these guys. What are their deficiencies? Coachable deficiencies. Those are the only players that we are bringing in here to Buffalo. Guys with coachable deficiencies. And a player like Osiris Torres with flat feet, you know, I don't know if that's a coachable deficiency. You can't teach people speed. You can't teach people a quick first step off the football, right? Those are God-given traits, God-given abilities that you have to keep in mind. And I know Dawand Jones, to me, coachable deficiency to me, it's like, okay, he's got a few extra pounds on him. He could lose a little bit of weight. It's not that he's flat-footed, right? Or was born with flat feet. It's just he's a little heavy and he wants to lose the weight. He could definitely get faster. And man, I really, really like it. You know, Spencer Brown could very well start ahead of Dawand Jones, but it's almost like, you know, if Dion Dawkins goes down, Spencer Brown could swing right over to left, right? And then we have Dawand Jones at right. It just makes so much sense here for Bills Mafia to protect Josh Allen, to take care of our franchise, knowing that the recipe to win is to run up the score, take opposing teams out of running the football against us, force them to pass against Trey Day, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Dane Jackson, Kaiir Elam, and Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, everybody, guys. This is a freaking mayhem defense. And I said in my previous video, I really think the Bills have a fair shot at leading the NFL in sacks for 2023. Big time. Absolutely big time. Brandon Beane is definitely going to be drafting a tackle in this year's NFL draft. I will bet $1 million on it. And I really think that tackle could very well be Dawand Jones. Is he worthy of that 27th overall pick? I really believe he is. You know, I think he's maybe a little bit after that, but for when you couple it with what the Bills actually need, I know we never draft for need, but it is part of the equation. I think it would make a lot of sense to just make sure we get our guy, Dawand Jones, tackle, Ohio State, 27th overall. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit like, subscribe. You guys are keeping this channel going, rocking out here in the Florida Keys. Let's go, baby. Draft is right around the corner. Go Bills. Peace.